Hello, 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 everybody. Give me 1 minute. Let's get set up. To get set up, the time is still ticking. I'm early today. Early today. Hello. Well, I'm late, but I'm also early. You know what I mean? I'm late to the stream. I was eating food, but we're here now. It's okay. Everything will be okay. What up, everybody? Let's do this. Hello, 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 hello. When game development? Game development? Not right now. What food? Chicken, rice, sweet potato, broccoli, teriyaki sauce. Very good, very good, very nice. Looking forward to making it on time. What's going on? Welcome on, welcome on in, welcome on in. So let's crack on, shall we, folks? Sounds delicious. It is good, actually. I made it a couple days ago now, but like pre-made my meals. Pre-made meals so that I can just crack on. Perfect for post-gym stuff. Okay, oh no. Oh no. Oh god, it's Pudnik Soul probably. What a Pudnik. What a Pando, how you doing? Hello folks, hello. Okay, let's just jump right in, shall we? Let's just jump right in. Who spoke Finnish? I saw you. Okay, so for those of you that don't know, we now dual stream for Feedback Friday. We've got a dual stream on YouTube and Twitch. So if you prefer the other one, then whatever. Just to give you guys options, and also so the VOD can go directly live or directly onto YouTube, as well as have it on Twitch as well, which is cool. What up, Adam Royale? How you doing? What up, Dom? How are you doing today? So the only problem with the dual stream I find is it splits the chat up. So I don't know what's best. I don't know if it's best to just stream on one platform, because it's splitting the chat up, and obviously one chat there's someone talking, the other chat there's someone talking, so they don't talk together, unfortunately. Have you abandoned your game? Definitely not. No. I've been working on a video project that I'm hopefully finishing soon. I keep saying that, but I'm so busy with work at the minute. And then back to Faceplant. Faceplant will be back soon. Don't worry. Thanks for the follow, Pamo Cludon. Appreciate you. So yeah, let's just jump in. Let's jump into feedback. I probably won't do super long today, like an hour and a half as usual. Maybe 2 hours. Let's see. Feedback Friday. Where did we get to last time? For those of you that don't know how this works, you post your work, we give feedback. It's simple as that. Simple as that. What's going on, Marge? How are you doing today? What's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. I feel a little bit sick today, actually. I feel a little ill, like sore throat, so probably won't do too much talking. Okay, we ended on Water's piece last time. Let us check out this piece. Low poly. Bro, trying to add detail in small proportions hurts my head, but it helps me think of how bodies look, because my brain immediately goes, that's odd. I tried to make a low poly, but now I look at it, the arms are off and the legs look too small, but I don't know how to rearrange the portions so it looks more human. Same thing as every single week. I really need to make a video on just purely proportions, don't I? Because I think this is one of the most common things that we get every single week, is just basic proportions. It's a lot of people trip up on this, and I understand why, because you want to draw a character and you want to jump into it, but it's going to help you. It's going to help everyone to literally just study basic proportions. Find out what the basic standard proportions are. I can give you a quick rundown of what I remember, but I don't have it at hand. I don't remember it fully. It's kind of just ingrained in my mind. Watching on Twitch and YouTube, appreciate that. You should watch gameplay of Wario Land 4. Now, I don't really like those games, to be honest with you, Pudnik. I've seen the gameplay of it, and I'm not a big fan of it. So if I was going to make... I know you keep mentioning, like, Wario Land and stuff for the Lumber game. If I was personally going to make a Lumber game, it would be nothing like that. It would be nothing like that because I don't really like those games. Watching on YouTube and Twitch for double the feedback. Let's go. Watched a little of the Ace tutorial. You're going to finish it later to make something next week with simple sprites. Hey, no worries. You're welcome. You're welcome. What's going on, RP? How are you doing today? What up, ye old monk? What up, yeast beast? So, basic proportions, yeah? This is all you really need to know to get started. Standard human head, I think it's about, if you draw a circle, right? And a human is about 8 of these. I think it might even be shorter. And it depends on gender and all of that stuff. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just do one more for good measure. There's one more for good measure. Okay. Now, I can't remember how many the rest is. I think it's like this. And I think the legs are the rest. Like the legs are slightly longer. Maybe something like that. I don't know. I'd have to have a look. But some things to keep in mind with any human and proportions. There are some key. I'll have to have a look into that and make a video on it because I can't remember. It's been so long since I've actually done it. But there's a couple of key landmarks that I use when I'm drawing human characters to remind myself, you know, of what the proportions should look like. So you have the arms like down there, and that looks quite like a monster, right? Typically, hands, in general, this doesn't go for everyone, but in general, hands will go down to the middle of the leg, like stretched out like that. So, if you can remember that, that's a nice guideline to remember by. The other thing is legs, the top of the leg and the bottom of the leg are about the same height. Not one of them is bigger than the other. They're about the same height. There's another good one to go by. The elbows go to about the rib cage, the bottom of the rib cage, so you can remember that. And the arms are about the same length. Top of the arm, the bottom of the arm is about the same length, and it goes again to the middle of the thing. And that's all you really need to know for standard proportions. There's obviously the height thing, which I'll have to figure out. I think it's about head. I think it's about 8, but I need to do some more research on that. Maybe long arms is the style of the character. I mean, it can be, definitely, 100%. Long arms can be the style of a character, definitely. However, they are specifically asking, this person is specifically asking to make it look more human. And when you have long ass arms, it could be human if you have an insane ape index. Not impossible. There are basketball players with long arms. Is the person a basketball player? Could be. That's possible. But if you want it to look more normal, just reduce the size of the arms. Aren't they hunched over? They do look hunched over slightly as well, but I mean the hand is going all the way down to the foot, essentially. And even here, this arm, if you were to extend it out, because it's bent, if you were to extend it out, it would probably go to somewhere like here, which again is the bottom, the top of the foot, which is just a bit too long. So I think it's maybe just a slight bit too long, even with that pose. You know what I mean? Like even just slightly raising it, it already looks more human. And that's just 1 or 2 pixels, you know? So that's how I would change the proportions. I'm going to say spoke about on stream, but I'll make a video on proportions at some point. I was watching Brandon video on the size. Yeah. There are different, that's a style thing. I'm talking mainly on, you can do whatever you want with style. You can have long arms. You can have long arms, you can have short arms, T-Rex style arms. You can do all of that. You know, people in general have different proportions. But the biggest problem I see, and the biggest problem that we see and have seen every single week when we do Feedback Friday, is people don't understand the basic general proportion, the average. Once you understand the average, then you know what is off from that, you know? It's like, let me try and think of a good analogy for this. I don't know. I can't think of an analogy. The analogy is, look at the average first. You'll know where you're going wrong. You'll know why something looks off. Like if you draw someone with super long arms, yeah, and like tiny legs like that, you can see for sure that the arms look long, right? You can see for sure now that the arms look long. They look like an ape, like a monkey, which is fine if you're drawing a monkey or a gibbon or something like that. Gibbons have got long arms. But if your goal is to draw a human, you should know what the average proportions look like, so that when you create a character, you can go, well, I want them to be a basketball player, and basketball players are generally longer, skinnier. And so I'll make their proportions a bit bigger. You know, I'll make their ape index a bit bigger. So something everyone should learn. It's just basic proportions. And I forgot mine. I forgot the head height thing. But after a while, it just sinks into your brain and you don't have to think about measurements anymore. You just can see it. You can see it, and you can see when it looks off. What's best is we watch both. Yeah, that would be best. Yeah. What engine do you recommend for a top-down 2D game? Would be good if it's beginner friendly. There are two engines that I recommend: Godot or Game Maker. Pick one. Try them both. Pick which one you prefer. There you go. I'm not sponsored by any. Godot or Game Maker. Godot is free. Plenty of tutorials out there, especially for top-down. You've got Heartbeast tutorials. They're fantastic. It will always be free because it's open source. Game Maker is excellent. Has been used for so many projects. Has been used for so many professional, incredible projects, and is free for non-commercial use. And if you want to use it for commercial use, it has just changed its license back to a one-time purchase forever. So those are the two that I recommend. I don't recommend any other ones because I haven't tried them personally. What up, Juho? How are you doing today? Just because if you're making it, you're not really thinking when you're doing it. You need to look at it from outside of your own head. Yeah. This is blowing my mind. What's blowing your mind? Oh, YouTube and Twitch, yeah. How's it going? Doing good yourself? Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm doing okay, thank you. Sorry to hear that you're not feeling well. Yeah, just a bit of a cold, bit of a sore throat. It's okay though. Appreciate you. Thanks for the love. Where are we up to in the feedback land? My God, this is infuriating. Here's that Game Maker 3 thing, but I love the one-time purchase. Yeah, one-time purchase. There you go. I like that as well. I think that's a really solid choice from Game Maker. I think they made a good decision there. Wow, I hate that you can't scroll this. It's so dumb. Sometimes Discord is dumb, man. Right, where are we up to? We were here. So we've seen this one. We've given feedback. Next, color advice. Making a tile set for a game jam. It's in the style of the old GBA Fire Emblem games. So I experiment a lot with more colors to get a similar feeling with it still being unique. However, while some people think that these colors are very pretty and unique, they're harsh on others' eyes, and I'd like to avoid that. I know a little bit about color theory, so I've mostly been doing trial and error. Any advice to keep a similar style but avoid colors that are harsh? Okay, so let's take a look at this. So what was the game you were going for? GBA Fire Emblem. What up, Spinny? You gave feedback on this one? Nice. So this is GBA Fire Emblem. What you're basically going for. I think they look very similar from what I've just witnessed. They do look very similar. Okay. I think yours is nice. I think yours is really nice actually as well. I think yours is really good. I think you've got a really nice style. Firstly, I think the style for this is very, very nice. Take a drink of tea here. Maybe it'll help my throat. I think your style is very nice. Yeah, I think it looks really good. This is the Fire Emblem one. So you can see the inspiration they've taken, but I actually kind of like how you've done the textures. You're saying it's hurting people's eyes. I think Let's take a look at the values. I've got a feeling it might just be the values being so light. Yeah. I think it's because you haven't got a huge amount of contrast and your value is super high. So I think that's why it's kind of hurting their eyes. Because in this one, like, the contrast is high between the values, but notice how there are clear areas of like, the clear areas that they want you to be looking at, you know? You can see that characters are important because they have a high value range. Yeah. They have a high value range and they are against a light background with a dark outline, so they stick out. And that's the same for all of the characters. And then you notice the little towns, which are probably secondary, have the next highest value range. You see that? They don't have outlines, but they have the next highest value range. And then background elements like mountains and these are other mountains or trees, mountains, logs. They have the third highest value range, but they kind of just blend into the background because they're not important. So if we look at the value range on this kind of light background, you have characters which have highest value range because they're the most important, should stand out. You have cities, objects, cities, and then you have like items in like background detail which have the lowest highest value range. Highest contrast, they stand out the most. The problem with yours, I think, is you have some value range, especially with the chest, which I think is good. You've kind of gotten that where you have the value range for the chest. It's high. That's good. You kind of have the same with pillar a little bit, not as much, but I mean, it is kind of the same value range. Maybe the pillars aren't as important. Maybe what you could do to help that is just increase the value range of this. And then next, I think we need to actually look at the individual colors that you're using, because the individual color, like if I'm just going to increase the, if I just increase the contrast of this. Notice how the chest stands out a lot more now. I know that wasn't your goal, and you're saying that some people like it and some people think it's hurting their eyes. I think what's hurting eyes is your color usage, because you have a lot of, I know you have a lot of desaturated reds here, right? You have a lot of desaturated reds, but you also have saturated reds along with saturated greens. And saturated red and saturated green next to each other, it's a clash, right? Because they're opposites. They're opposites. So maybe it would help to reduce this a little bit. Like if we desaturate it. Thanks so much for the follow or for subscribing, Floppy. I appreciate you. You believe that chicken broth helps with sore throat? I'm not sure because I've never tried it. But maybe if we desaturate it a bit, it will help with that a touch. I think also the texture, this texture is high contrast. And it's kind of noisy because of that, because you have your greens, yeah, in both value and color. Because notice how, and pattern, I mean the pattern makes sense because it's grass, but if you take a look at this where it's like green and then you have your like orange and yellow and red, which is sort of closer to the opposite of the color wheel, like you put these colors together, you're getting a clash anyway a little bit. I think you can reduce the contrast of this tile. It's this tile, I think, is the big problem because it's very, very noisy. I think you can add more texture. I think less, actually. I think it's less texture. I think less texture will help. See if we can sort this out. GBA has this thing going on where the colors are very super bright because the early GBA version didn't have very bright lights, so it comes to it. Okay, fair enough. Outline the stone part flattens it all. The pillars should be outlined too. Yeah, I think I agree. Like if you've got this, chuck it there or something, so you've got like a bit of that backdrop or whatever. Like I think that would look cool, so it's not so flat, something like that. But again, avoid the brown or something. Obviously, you're working within specific tile sizes, so you'll have to tweak the tile if that's the goal. If that's what the goal you're going for. I use these feedback sessions to train myself to see if I know how to criticize and improve my art, so I try to guess what could be improved in the submissions, and your solutions are like a correct. What do you mean? Very much SNES RPG games. Yeah, it's a cool style. What up, Dave? How you doing? Good morning. What's the stream schedule? Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. GMT. On Friday, we do Feedback Friday. Okay, so yeah, I really think the biggest thing is this texture here. I think that's what's causing, because I'm looking at this, and I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with this. I don't really have a problem with this as much. I have spoken about the saturated browns, and that's probably the only thing that I would change, or the saturated reds being in high contrast to the greens. I think the biggest texture is this one. So what would I do to fix this? Let's see if I can see if I can just tweak it a little bit. I think it's too high contrast in terms of color. I think we could probably desaturate it a little bit, maybe make it a little bit lighter, push it towards green perhaps. Let's reduce the value contrast or the tonal contrast a touch. I think that's slightly too high. Slightly too high. But notice how if I just tweak it just a touch, like it doesn't have to be too crazy. I do something like that, and then I take your same image again. I think you can see now the difference between the two, where I do like your colors on yours, where they are really popping, but it's going to be a balance. It's going to be a balance between the colors popping and not hurting your eyes when you're looking at it for long. So maybe we could now that we've done that, maybe I could return the same saturated colors from what you had before, and maybe that would balance that out. Let's have a look. That's probably a bit too much now, actually, now that I've desaturated everything. Yeah, I think you've got to play with the balance with this. Obviously, you're going to know what works best for your game, but I think your biggest issue with the eye soreness is just this texture. That's your biggest issue with the eye soreness, and that's because of, like I said before, the contrast between the colors, the contrast between the values in that area specifically. I try to tweak that myself by reducing that, but I've also made it lighter. So maybe what I could do to fix that is make it a touch darker now. That might bring it more closer towards your goal in terms of value structure over the whole thing. Maybe it's too dark. It's going to be a case of tweaking it, you know. It's going to be a case of tweaking it slightly, tweaking the colors. And then the ground could be a bit more subtle. Yeah, that's what we're saying. Trying to reduce the contrast. Trying to reduce the contrast overall in the floor, because that's what we've seen in the Fire Emblem. But you're going to have to tweak that and see how you go with that. Shovel Knight Dig has a very nice art style. Yeah, I love Shovel Knight. And Shovel Knight Dig looks great. Like when you get the same answer as a teacher for solution, it feels like a student, you'll get it. Ah, okay. So like you're testing yourself on it. What you're saying. That's cool. And bear in mind, it's just my feedback as well. If you have any feedback yourself, it doesn't mean that it's invalid. Like if there's something that you feel, definitely. I feel like the purple should be shifted towards blue, perhaps, yes. Hello, all, been a while. How's the game progressing? I haven't worked on the game in about 3 months, nickname generator. I'd started a new job. I'm working on a new video, which should be done pretty soon, and then it's back to Faceplant. So there hasn't actually been too much progress on Faceplant recently. I like the muted colors with the hard contrast characters. Yeah, this is actually Fire Emblem. This is a different game. This is an already existing game, obviously a very successful one, and they are trying to sort of mimic that style. But I think the biggest thing is just the contrast in your flow. You know, I think it's the contrast in your flow. So I'd recommend trying to balance that out with sorry for the flashbang. Try and balance that out with your contrast and your saturation, and try and learn. If you struggle with color theory, try and learn just a little bit of the basic terms. If you're really struggling with the basic terms of color theory, all you need to know about making game art is in my how to make game art video. I literally made a video for this entire reason: how to make game art. I made a whole video which analyzes game art and shows you why they've chosen certain broken down the art styles of popular games and why they've chosen certain design elements for their games and the type of effects that has. So if you're making your own game, check that video out. It's going to help you. And if you're unsure of some topics, maybe also check out the Ultimate Pixel Art tutorial, because there are some topics within the Ultimate Pixel Art tutorial which aren't just on pixel art. It's art fundamentals. There are art fundamentals in this topic too, such as value and color. So check out that video as well. And you should have a deeper understanding and should be able to tweak your colors in your games, tweak your colors and values to make your game. How to make game art is one of your best videos. I did spend a long time on it. And it made me sad that it didn't do as well, and that a lot of people haven't seen it, because I feel like it answers a lot of the questions. It answers a lot of the questions that people have on feedback, especially about their game art, you know? So it's a shame that most people haven't seen it. That's okay. I'll just mention it every single time until everyone's seen it. Okay. What's next? There's stairs on the side? Not sure. It does look like that, yeah, actually. Adolwar, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Okay, next up, Deer Skull by Brianna. So I need help with detailing. The first reference is for the antlers. The second one is for the skull and lighting. All feedback is appreciated. Okay. Skull and lighting. Okay. That must be difficult to get the lighting off this, because there isn't actually much light. It looks like a product photo. Yeah, well, it is. I can see here. Wall decor. And the problem with this as a lighting reference, firstly, is just because it's a product photo, and most product photos are lit from all sides. You're not going to get very good. You're not going to get product photography usually that is dramatic lighting, and usually without dramatic lighting and like something that's lit from all sides, you don't get a huge sense of form from that, and it can look very flat because it's unnatural, right? It's unnatural lighting. So be careful with that, firstly. Secondly, I'd say just from quick observation of this versus this, if this is the horns are actually massive. They are massive compared to the skull, aren't they? So proportionally, the skull looks massive compared to the horns here, and we don't actually see the full horns, so we don't know how big that is. So watch your proportions, firstly, I think. I really like the drawing, though. I think the drawing's really cool. I think you've got some nice texture in there. You've got some nice pixel art. You've got some nice clean pixels. You've got some cool texture going on. So I really think your proportions probably the first thing I would look at again. And detailing. Detailing in pixel art is not super easy, but I think you're kind of going the right way with the horns. What's going on, Omka? I think you're going the right way with the horns. Let me this. I think you're going the right way with the horns, and I think that just needs to be kind of copied throughout. You see how you've used like a lighter tone here for the anti-aliasing? I think that's going to be your key for the detail here. Let's just take a snapshot of one of these images. Second one is for the skull and the lighting. Okay. Take a snapshot of one of these images. What detail does it actually have? I think the biggest thing that you can see here is just the cracks and crevices with differing depths. Exactly, Nubius. Yeah, depth. You got cracks and crevices with differing depths. Like, notice how you got some light. If I just simplify, you've got light, dark, and that's showing off depth in the cracks of the skull. And that's as simple as that in terms of the texture. Other than the horns, which you have grooves in the horns, you kind of have that going on here, but maybe you need a little bit more. Maybe you could use this to like make that even deeper. Again, you are using pixel art, so I'll let you off because it's not going to be easy to add this much detail in pixel art. You're going to have to be selective with that. I think pushing the shadows a bit more is going to help out a lot, you know. Push these shadows, really get it feeling like, again, like Nubius said, but the depth. What type of music you like? I like a bunch of different types of music, to be honest with you. A bunch of different types. I've been through a lot of phases, but I'll listen to anything that's good. I mainly listen to I do like my Discover Weekly on Spotify and stuff and find new artists. Like I really enjoy finding new artists. I think one thing that you could help is maybe make the pixel art a little less regular. Maybe that would make it look a bit more textural, because it's a skull at the end of the day, and the skull like fragments. Skull fragments are not completely regular, as we see in that second texture there. You can get a bit more creative, but obviously you are working in pixel art, so you have to be careful with that. Could the outlines be more broken, not as perfect? Yeah, I think so. I think get a bit like, what helps, I think, is asymmetry. You know, get some asymmetrical details. When you have something that's completely symmetrical, it looks robotic. It looks kind of fake. So maybe some asymmetrical details, just as Dom has said, and like I was mentioning with the cracks and crevices here, like get some cracks which aren't on one side, get some which are on the other side, and maybe break one of the outlines in one place. And lastly, check out the proportions. Check out your proportions and just make sure they are to the scale that you want them at. Like maybe you want them to have smaller horns, something smaller horns, but I think from your references they do look a little bit bigger than that. Obviously I'm completely destroying your pixel art here, but see that starts to look a bit more like the reference here and a bit less unnatural. We look at the difference between the two. And all I've done there really is add a little bit of detail in cracks and crevices and adjusted the proportions to match the reference, and made it a bit more depth with the shadows in the eyes and the cracks and everything, and obviously the asymmetrical detail. So hopefully that is useful in some way, but nice work. Keep it up. I like it. Thank you, Dave. I think is most of the hard work. Have you heard the Calamity OST? I have not. Your birthday's on the 26th? Well, happy early birthday. Hope you have a nice one. Okay, let's check out the next one. So looking for general feedback, and I'm going to just, hold on. Spoken about on stream. Oh, they already had finished it. They already finished it, and this is their most updated, which I think they did a good job with the depth and slight asymmetrical details. I think they pushed it in that direction. All right, looking for general feedback. Here we go. Feedback on my pixel art and exercises to improve. Mostly minor changes. I do. Great. Now that I finished my text, not let me flash the impact frame, so animation frame. Everyone is the green guy. Yeah, the green guy is solid. Yeah, I think just keep practicing. Keep practicing. You already have a solid bit of work here. You already have a solid like inventory of work. I think just make more work like this. This isn't necessarily bad. I think you just need to improve your skills with color theory, especially here. The colors look a little similar in the background, so you need to look into color theory and values and balance things like that. And that's going to help you massively. I think it's going to be your biggest thing. This is the thing about pixel art, and I actually saw someone on Twitter talk about this. Pixel art is really easy to be lazy with. Pixel art is the most accessible, in my opinion. It's the most accessible, or one of the most accessible art forms. But it also can make you lazy when it comes to your own improvement. Because is it good to hold on, let me finish this thought and then I'll answer that, Dom. Pixel art can make you a little bit lazy, I think, if you're just starting as a pixel artist, because everything is basically done for you, and all of the advice with pixel art is things like use a palette, you know, and you'll hear people say things like never have jaggies or doubles or whatever, you know. I'll just put never do X, because there's a lot of advice like that. Never do X. Always use a palette. Always, what's another one? People love People love to say always hue shift, for example. Like these are things, pixel art, because it's a very restricted medium with because it's a very restricted medium, you can follow absolutely every single rule, but you're not helping yourself in the long term. You're gonna get very, very good at following these very strict rules, and you're gonna get very, very good at doing that, which can be to your detriment long term as an artist. Because unless that's your goal, unless your goal is to do what everyone sees as like a pure thing, but the problem is you're going to listen to someone else who says never do this and never do that, and you're going to be jumping between this advice just because of someone that's popular. And that's generally where it comes from. It generally comes from some sort of influencer or some sort of misinformed tutorial, or it's some misinformed like massive pixel artist who has developed a following from their style. They've maybe got like 100,000 followers on Twitter, and they say don't do this, so you think that's gospel and you should never do that. That goes on a lot, and that goes on a lot with pixel art because it's very restrictive, because you are individually placing your pixels, because you can be selective with the palette, and most palettes are limited. But what's going to help you out, what's going to help you as an individual artist, is to challenge that as much as possible. Challenge the rules, challenge what people say. I put a T where the L is. That's stupid. Challenge the rules, challenge all of that. What did I even start talking about this? Why did I start talking about this? What was I talking about? Oh yeah. And this is a very common beginner thing, because people will just use palettes and not really know how to use a palette, and then not really know how to build a palette, and not really know why colors work together, and not really know what values are. The best thing you can do is just start to build up slowly over time your understanding of art theory. Yeah, because art theory is universal. It's not just these things. Art theory has been used throughout time, from the art masters back in the day who have tried to break them and push them to the edges. And you'll start to, once you know a lot about art theory, you can start to push the boundaries of it and try new things which are different. You can start to do different things, which is why learning is so important. But if you get stuck in this pixel artist mindset, or I'm just a pixel artist, start to see yourself as an artist rather than just a pixel artist, because pixel art is such a small, it's such a small niche of art that you're limiting yourself. You're limiting yourself. So I would say for all beginners, Dom2D said, is it good to try too many different sizes and outlines and types of pixel art at first? Try as much as possible forever until you die. And it really depends on your goal, right? It really depends on your goal, because I think there's a massive problem with art and social media today. Okay, and I see this all the time. I've experienced it personally when I've been doing social media. I've been doing art my whole life, and I've been doing social media basically my whole life. I started YouTube 8 years ago. I started posting on online media at about the same time. For over 10 years, probably. Over 10 years on social media with art. And social media loves, right? Social media rewards consistency. It rewards consistency. And it rewards consistency with your style. It rewards consistency with the amount that you post. It rewards consistency with trends. But these things are not necessarily what's going to make you a better overall. It's not going to help you overall learn. Your numbers on social media might go up. Your numbers will go up, yeah. This isn't Photoshop. No, this is Clip Studio Paint. Social media rewards consistency and sticking to the same thing. Social media rewards consistency and sticking to the same thing. But sticking to the same thing is great if you want to build a name for yourself, if you want to build a brand, if you want to build a portfolio of work, if you want to build a business. But sticking to the same thing is not the best for your own growth as an artist, you know? It helps to and the reason I say that is because art is so wide of a field, right? There's so much with art, you know? Like, and there's so many different areas which will help you strengthen other areas of your art. So let's say you do pixel art, for example. You do pixel art, and because you don't need to draw, you don't need to be able to draw to do pixel art, because you don't need any dexterity to do pixel art. You know, you can literally just place pixel by pixel by pixel and then fix it and erase it until it gets right. You can focus on other things like color, like shape. Yeah, you can focus on those things with pixel art. However, when you start doing something like digital art, like maybe you're going to do paintings, digital art, illustrations, it now becomes very important to be able to draw. And so perspective becomes really important, because you need to be able to draw 2D shapes and 2D shapes and 3D shapes in a 2D space. You know, that's when your painting becomes important. You need to learn a bit more about form. Form is important in pixel art, but it's a bit more important in digital art painting, you know, and again, depending on the style that you work within. It's not always the case. This is more of a generalization. But then you might look at something like traditional art, you know, which I've been looking into recently. Like, I've tried painting recently. I've done mosaics. And traditional art is a whole different beast. And that will help you focus on patience, texture, for example. Like, I've been doing traditional art and I've been painting, and I realized that real paints have texture to them. And you can use that texture in particular ways. That's something I would never really think about when doing pixel art. Like, maybe I would when I'm thinking about like doing dithering briefly, but you think about it on a whole new level. Basically, is how I kind of want to talk. What I mean, right? You think about it from a different perspective, but because you've seen that other perspective, you can apply that to every other style of art that you do. So when you go back to pixel art, you can take those lessons that you've learned and apply them everywhere. So I think if you just stick to one thing, it can be great for building a brand. It can be great for building a business. It can be great for building a presence on social media, because social media loves that. Social media says, you make this one thing and you will do well, and we'll share it with people who like that one thing. But the second that you try something else, it doesn't push your work. And you're like, oh, well, I shouldn't post my work anymore. I shouldn't post this kind of work. But that can be bad. That can be bad for your own personal development. So be careful and think about your goals, and think about what kind of artist you want to be, because ultimately it's up to you. It's up to you. You know, I can't tell you what you should and shouldn't do. I can only tell you that different approaches give different results. And that might seem obvious, but I don't think it does these days, when everyone seems to be chasing the social media hype. You know? Everyone's chasing the social media hype and trying to get more followers. But then you don't realize what you're giving up to get the numbers, you know, or what you're not growing as opposed to. Bear in mind, validation is also good. Art is not about should and shouldn't. Yeah, but social media treats it as you shouldn't post this. Unless if you want followers. There's an audience for everything. They just have to find your work. It's true, but the way that online works is if you have a scattered portfolio, like let's say you post a lot of digital art and then you post a lot of pixel art. If you want to grow on social media, yeah? If you want your social media to grow, anyone can do it. Literally anyone. Do the same thing and do it a lot. The reason that's going to work the quickest, the fastest, and give you the most amount of audience in the most efficient way is because the algorithms, especially on YouTube, especially on Twitter and Instagram, the algorithms will go, you make this type of art, and every time you post a piece of artwork, they'll go, we have a data set on you now where we've got even more data which strengthens this is what you make. And then they look at their audience and they go, we have an audience that likes this sort of thing. They test it with the audience, yeah? And if that audience likes what you make and you make more of that stuff, they push it to more audience and more and more and more and more. So the best way, stick to your brand and you'll get more as quickly as possible. Look at someone like Brandon James Gray, right? Brandon James Gray does a lot of pixel art videos, or started out with a lot of pixel art videos, has branched into like 3D, but it's the same sort of pixel art. You know, it's the same sort of pixel art, it's just in 3D. And because Brandon has stuck to such a consistent brand, Brandon has exploded. And that makes sense. Whereas you look at someone else, like my channel, I don't do just pixel art. If I wanted to grow my social media the fastest, I would just keep making pixel art tutorials. I'd just keep making pixel art tutorials, and I'd make pixel art and pixel art and pixel art, and it would grow the fastest that it's ever grown. But that's not what I'm trying to do as an artist. I'm trying to just explore everything that I find enjoyable. Game dev, art, traditional art, you know, digital art. It kind of upsets me when someone goes, oh, you're the pixel artist, because I don't view myself as a pixel artist. I view myself as just an artist. It's just that my pixel art videos did the best out of the ones that I've made. That's it, you know? That is it. But yeah, just be careful of the type of stuff that you make. And social media doesn't necessarily work with your personal development. It can work against your personal development. Social media can be used to inspire and find confidence and motivation. 100%, yeah. But getting validation from your work can help you so much as a creator. But it can also have the negative effect. Social media can also have a negative effect where you compare yourself too much and feel like you should be following these trends that you might not even care about, you know? So just be careful with it. It can be a great thing and it can be a bad thing. It's about balance, right? It's about balance, and it's about you and your personal goals and what you are trying to achieve. Not what anyone else is trying to achieve. What are you trying to achieve? For the longest time, I thought what I wanted to achieve was I want to be a big creator, and I want to do. So I'd follow trends, and I'd follow what would be popular, and I'd make things about what would perform well. You know, what would perform well. But I found myself to be the most unhappy I've ever been, even when the numbers were going like that, right? Subscribers is an all-time high. You know, everything's going up. You're doing everything that you need to do to increase your presence online, but you're still incredibly unhappy. And I was incredibly unhappy because I wasn't doing what I really cared about. I was just doing things because I thought it would perform well. And that's what you have to be careful of, because once you get addicted to those numbers and you start looking at the analytics and you're like, whoa, if I post this, if I just make this, if I just, then you spent your whole life making things you don't give a shit about. You're just chasing numbers. You know, that's what you have to be careful about, because I've experienced that. And I'm now trying to like reel it in and go, what do I actually care about? What do I actually want to make? You know, what do I want to look back on and go, I'm super proud that I did that. You know, I'm super happy. I'm super excited about this project. I'm super passionate about this project. Not just what's going to get me more followers online, lol. I want to be an influencer. You know what I mean? Do what makes you passionate. And usually it ends up being better. Usually you'll end up getting more visibility anyway, because you're actually doing something you're passionate about and not just following a trend. But anyway, can't stay for long. I'll catch the VOD. Hey, Soul, if you happen to get to mine while I'm not here, my issue with Feedback Friday piece is appeal, as in the animation principle. Hey, no worries, RP. Make sure you leave a comment on your thing so I know exactly what you're talking about. How is the stream going? I just hopped on because I think you're my favorite pixel artist. Oh no. Oh no. And I don't mind. I don't mind that people have seen the pixel art videos and they like the pixel art videos. I'm glad. I'm glad people are getting some use out of the pixel art videos. I definitely am. But it becomes expected, right? It becomes expected. Most trends that get popular were originally defined the existing trends at the time anyway, so who knows? Yeah. 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 Online world is strange. Video idea? I've run out of video ideas. Online world is strange. But yeah. Next up, what can I improve, says Panache. Sorry for rambling. I always ramble something. I was rambling, you know. When you start with a certain theme, once you deviate, some audiences reject it, which intimidates some artists from doing or reposting it, which then repels development, unfortunately. You're 100% right, yeah. Like when I started making game dev videos, I was so scared. I was so scared to post game dev videos because I knew that my audience on YouTube was primarily pixel art students, people who wanted to learn pixel art. It still is. The majority of the audience is still people who want to learn pixel art because those are the videos that have done the best. And I was so scared to make a game dev video because I thought people aren't going to watch this. You know, it's going to flop. It's going to fail. I'm going to destroy everything that I've built. It's going to destroy everything. But then I realized, actually, what would be the point in me making more videos that I just didn't want to make? And I had to let go of that, and I had to just think, right, what am I genuinely passionate about? What do I actually want to make? And actually, I did it, and it went really well. And it's because I enjoyed making it. You know, it's because I enjoyed making it. It's because I'm passionate about it. And it's not and it's funny because it's actually related to each other. Like pixel art and game dev are so closely related because you use art a lot in games. You know, you use pixel art in games. They're so closely related together. It's just creativity at the end of the day, and that's what I want my brand to be. You know, that's what I want my channel to be about. I want it to be about me making things and sharing what I'm learning in any area that I'm interested in, because no doubt if you're a creative person, you will want to explore those areas too. Real passion creates real passion from other people. That's a great saying. Numbers creates only more numbers. You're very right, Gustav. That's a fantastic saying, actually. Real passion creates real passion from other people. I love that, actually. That's a really good saying, Gustav. Thank you for sharing that. You're true to yourself and to the audience, and this is what is great about it. It just makes you our friend. Well, there's no point lying. You know, there's no point in me going, what's up, guys? Just got in from my sick bachelor pad. Oh my God, we got this sick, crazy Ferrari. Like, just be yourself, man. I never understood that. Whenever I started doing YouTube for the first time, people said, what's the best advice? People would always say, what's the best advice? People who were big on YouTube that I looked up to, they always said, just be yourself. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. And I never really got it. I didn't know how to be myself until now. And I get it now. I get that in order to be yourself, you have to reject doing something just because think it might be popular, you know? If that isn't yourself, like maybe yourself is doing that and then it is yourself. Does that make sense? I don't know. Whatever. Let's give some feedback. Let's check this out. This says, what can I improve? I actually love this. I love the style of this. I think it's really cool. This is really nice. Drew Cruella de Vil, but not quite sure what to improve here. I mean, if your goal here was to go for a cartoony version of Cruella de Vil with some great character, some great silhouette, I think you've done a great job. Her hands look like chicken feet. Yeah, that's what I imagine though. There's kind of like really skinny. Chicken feet's the perfect example, perfect description of that. I'm going to say this is great. If your goal, spoken about on stream. I'm just going to say spoken about on stream. I always say that because I ain't got time to type up, man. No one wants to sit here and watch me type up. But that's amazing. I really like that. I don't think you can improve anything. I think you should make more art in this really cool style. Keep going. AMS, what up? Yeast Beast, embrace the monkey. Claude, yeah. The little claws. And in addition to the UFOs and the ball joke. Yeah. Well, I just think UFOs are cool. I'm not on stream, but I thought I would post, hi chat, finally dumped some pixel art. This is nice. I actually see, this is something that people say never to do, right? But we wouldn't have seen something as interesting as this. This is a pixel art piece where you have the hard moon You've got one little individual pixel there, which is annoying me, so I will remove that because that annoyed me. But but then you have, look at this soft blurred pixels. I actually think that's a really interesting technique you've got there, because that's what it genuinely looks like, right? It genuinely, I can't say that word. It genuinely looks blurred when you see it in real life. And I think that's really cool. I think that's a really cool style experiment you've got going on here. I think that looks sick. I think you get it across nicely. I don't know, I'd have to look at reference before. The craters on the moon look off. Maybe just because they're like cheese. Because really what it should look like is like this, right? And then you put the UFO here, probably UFO around here. Let's take another color for the alien. Alien sits in the UFO around there. And the rest is cheese colored. I think it's probably because it's directional light, right? Like I'd maybe make it like one color or something. Thanks for the UFO. I love them. Yes, they have to be present. They must be present. Cheese moon. Yeah, I think the only reason the craters look off is because they are. You've given them like a depth to them, all in the same direction, and that makes it look like there's light coming from one side. Maybe there is. Maybe the sun is out of view. I don't know how this works. I forget how the sun and moon works. I'm not a scientist. I only play with crayons for fun. But I think it's a really cool style. Keep it up. Reference. Look at reference. There you go. The truth is out there, yeah. It's a very sharp moon. Its reflection on the clouds are so soft around it. So soft. So nice. So cool. It's just my video who's on 240p. Yeah, up that quality, my friend. Up the quality. Craters are highly defined. It's high value contrast, right? Yeah, you're right, Dom. Is that a faceplant reference? Did anyone else know that people living south of the equator see the moon upside down? No way. Do they actually? That's interesting. But they live upside down, so I mean, of course they do. Because they are upside down. It's true. That's nice. Don't their toilets also flush the different way? Or was that wrong? I don't know. Anyway, this says review of my game, playtime, or what? They've reviewed their game. This is their game. A little indie horror game I checked out the trailer for. Wait, is this you? Maybe I'll play it and write a review if you feel like it. Does it mean me play it, or did they play it and they'll make? It happened to you too. I think maybe maybe my internet dropped a little bit. Maybe my internet dropped a little bit. Is it fixed? The dark side of the moon gets more sun than the one we see. Yeah, because we only see one face, right? I want to see the other side. I posted an MP4. Should it have been still or PNG? My stream is fine. I don't know what's going on, folks. A little indie horror game I checked out the trailer for. Do they want me to play this game? I don't understand this. I don't understand this one. Do they want me to play this and review it, or have they played it and they've reviewed it and I'm reviewing their review of this game? I don't understand. Let me just go to the link and probably get a big scammed. Okay, it's download only, so I'm not going to play it anyway. For those of you that don't know, I don't play. It says review of my game, so maybe it is their game. I'm not sure, Zai. It's download only, which is a shame. Folks, just so you know, I do not download any video game projects. I do not download them because people in my community have been scammed. People in my community have been scammed, lost their entire accounts, lost access to their computers because they've downloaded files from itch and other sources. So I do not download games. Yes, I could probably scan them. Yes, I could probably download them and put them in a sandbox to make sure it checked it out. But guess what? That's a lot of effort. So I apologize for not checking out any online games. The only games I'll play is if they're playable in browser. So this is probably not something I would play. If one of the community members wants to check it out and risk losing their account, I'm sure it's fine because other people have played it, but I have to keep the rule set the same throughout, to be fair. So I apologize. But that does happen a lot, by the way. Happens a lot. In fact, I remember another streamer, Pirate Software, talking about it. Check out a video? That's a good idea. Let's do that. Check out the trailer. The side we see gets lunar eclipses, this other never does? Ah. Interesting. You know a lot about the moon, carbonated diarrhea. Your nickname. I like your nickname. Funny. Carbonated. I imagine one of those soda streams. You ever seen a soda stream? But instead of soda, it's just diarrhea. What up, Sticky? Happy Friday. How are you doing today? Tesseract. Mezzamine's PT trailer. Looks very cool. Looks like Slender plus Five Nights at Freddy's plus what's the other one? Something else. Among Us. The graphics are nice. Cool 3D graphics. I don't know what the gameplay is. I guess things are moving. Uh-oh. I don't play scary games. I poop myself. Mezzamines. PT. PT, is that like a... Is that Portuguese? Is that Portuguese or is it... There's something about that. PT games, like spooky PT games. What does that mean? What is that mean? What does that mean? I should say. For those of you that have played those types of games. Playable trailer? Is that what it means? Oh, teaser. Does it actually? I didn't know that. I thought it was like a spooky thing. I thought it was like a spooky game thing. Playable trailer. Teaser. I like it. All right, next up, folks. The recent stuff here. But I'm sorry I can't play the game. Hopefully it goes well. I wish there was more gameplay. Yeah, it would have been nice to see a bit of gameplay. Maybe we can see what someone else has played. Someone else has played it, this person. This person's played it. Let's check this out. Do they talk? Playthrough too. We've got a let's play here. PT was a play, that's what I'm thinking of, you old monk. They reveal it leads to Silent Hill, and they never made Silent Hill, didn't they not? Oh, this person's lagging, man. This person's recorded their lag. They must be using fraps. I can't really tell the gameplay from this video, unfortunately, because they're kind of lagging. They're kind of lagging. Lag is a feature of the game. Don't be silly. Don't be. Imagine if it was. Lag the game. All right, next up, let's have a look. The Dio guy, recent stuff. We can't see these because they're so small. Let me open them up. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Nice silhouettes, my dude. Nice silhouettes on these characters. That's what we like to see. Strong poses. Strong poses, and you know what strong poses lead to? Strong animations. Strong animations. One thing I might like to see, the smear is nice. It is nice. Nice spot there, Featherwalk. What up, by the way? A kick. A nice kick. It looks like a fancy kick. The character looks fancy because they got a suit on and they're doing like a hoo-yah, you know? They're like a hoo-yah little kick on. The only thing that looks maybe a little off, there's a lot of motion going on everywhere, but no motion in the head. I imagine the hair to like flick back. I don't know what hair physics are like. I don't have any hair, but that's just what I imagine would happen. The hair would maybe flick back just a pixel or so, kind of like the same way the tie is. The other thing I'd say is when you do a kick, the character's moving quite a lot to do the kick. It might be cool if they have you tried kicking? I used to do Muay Thai, and when you kick your other foot, the planted foot, you've got a rotation there, which I was super impressed by by the way. The rotation in the bottom foot here, but maybe you could have it like tilt off the ground a little bit. You know, when you go into your tiptoe and you swing around, because what happens is when you kick, if you don't pivot on the ball of your foot with the planted foot, you basically will snap your knee. You'll damage your knee basically. But that just depends on how realistic you want to go. You've already got the spin of the foot, which I thought is mad impressive. But it is mad impressive. It is mad impressive, no lie. It's cool that you got that in such a small size. I am impressed. And the hands go down as well. You got one hand going up as you kick. And maybe what might be a stronger pose, I guess it depends on the character, okay? So this is one big thing. It depends on the character and the style of the fighting that they kick, you know? Style of the fighting for the kick. Very hard to kick like this without moving your torso. Yeah, there's a little bit of torso movement. I think you can see it in the bottom, where you can see it in the waist, right? But you can't see it in the upper body. Like when you kick, you push your arms down, you know? You push your arms down, but it depends on the style as well, doesn't it? It depends on the style of the fighting. Like, it depends on, there's so many different types of kung fu and fighting and all that stuff that I think you're right though, Dom. I think the only thing that looks off is the top half of the body. The bottom half of the body's not so bad. Maybe the movement of the arms looks a little bit off because it looks like they're all going in the same direction as the legs, whereas it might be stronger to push the arms back. Might be stronger to push the arms back as the leg kicks, and it might look a bit more realistic. Because if you ever watch a Muay Thai fighter or someone who does kickboxing or something fight, and obviously this character might not do that, they might not be a fighter, but like a Muay Thai fight, Muay Thai kick, for example, like they look insane, and they're incredibly strong. And it only takes like one tutorial. This looks like a front kick. This looks like a little bit of a front kick. Let me get a picture. They call it a teep. Soul No Hairman has great expectations for the hair of others. I do. I don't have it. You must make it the best. Just make it the best. But check out this front kick. They call it a teep. It's actually one of my favorite kicks to do because you can send someone flying through the air. Notice how the ankle, weak, right? Ankle comes up slightly here. And the arms come down. And then the reverse foot, look at the reverse foot, like pivot off with the ankle. These are videos great. This is great. This is great reference. Great reference. Always check out reference for animations.
Back to the same position. He doesn't snap and then stuff like that.
Yeah, because you get knocked down. Muay Thai, man. Hardcore. Also, there's no kick that ends with your toes pointing in the same direction as your leg. That's interesting. Is there a mustache or is it the mouth? Oh, the character? I thought you meant me. I was like, yeah, I've got a mustache. I think it's the mouth. Though it kind of, now that you've said it, and now I only see mustache. I only see mustache. What up, Dio? It's the mouth. Got you. Hey man, first time seeing you live with you. What's going on, Christian Lorenz? How are you doing today? Greetings from Argentina. What's that? What's going on, Argentina? How is it? What's it like in Argentina? It's just got really cold here. For some reason, yesterday it was like cold, but not too cold. But today was like mad cold for the UK. Anyway, it's supposed to snow next week. Crazy. It's supposed to snow next week. But anyway, I think these overall are very cool animations. You got some strong poses. I really like the look of the punch, like the hoo-yah! I think that looks sick. I think it looks sick. So keep it up. You've got the hair animation in that. Maybe just add some hair animation with the kick. Check out some more reference for the kicks and let's see what you got. See what you got. Anyway, next up. Dialogue portraits I drew for our game. Let's check it out. Looking for general pixel art advice. Also would like to get some about the ones in the store page. Oh, you've got a store page. Let's go. How can I get feedback for a pixel art? You post it. So what you do is you go on the Discord channel, you post it in the feedback community Discord channel, you post it in feedback, and you tag it with Feedback Friday. That's how you do it. I probably won't get to it today because there's quite a lot in queue. I'm trying to get through them, but we will get to it at some point. Much better torso keyframes. Yeah, exactly. Dom, correctamundo. Looking for general pixel art advice. Also would love to get some. Okay, so let's check this out. Nice. Real nice. You got some nice portraits going on here. Gandalf or Saruman. You will go? No worries. Look forward to seeing what you post. We had snow this morning. By evening, it all melted into a dirty mush. Yeah, we call that slush here. I don't like it. Slushy. Slushy grey mess. But yeah, this is all looking cool. You have a consistent style throughout, which is cool. Pixel art specific advice. I mean, you have a consistent style. It depends on what you're going for. You know? This is perfectly valid style. Cool palette and the eyes pop so much. I agree. The eyes do pop so much. The only thing that looks off with each of these characters, and this isn't really a pixel art thing, this is more of a anatomy thing, is just the necks. Like, I feel like you've got a decent grasp of facial structure, especially with your shading. Like, your shading is very good with facial structure. You've got the right places highlighted. But the necks look a little flat. Did you say it's snowing tomorrow in the UK? No, not tomorrow. Next week, I think. It's next week. Not sure. You say it's snowing tomorrow? Oh, I already read that. Sorry, Pando. Would be I can stay at home and do some art. That would be hype. Let's take this image into the image looker. Oops. Let's look at this image. Yeah, I think these are nice pixel art pieces. Be careful. There is one pixel advice with this type of shading. This is called pillow shading. Now it can't. I zoomed in to see this, so it doesn't stick out a lot. But a lot of people, you should be careful with pillow shading because it doesn't always give an idea of the form. For those of you wondering, what is pillow shading? The pillow shading is when you shade something like this, like all the way around the form like that. The reason that is not recommended is because it doesn't actually add a huge amount of form. Okay, so let's take a look at this shape here. I think it's a bow, right? I think it's a bow. So I'll draw two bows and I'll pillow shade one of them. I'll pillow shade this one. I know you have the individuals, so we'll do that. And then I'll add... It's a nice stylistic choice if form is not the important factor. Very true, Madge. Not always necessary. But because most of the rest of the piece, especially on the wizard, has some sort of directional, some sort of form shading, like you see the head, the nose, the cheeks, you know, it's got very nice form shaded. To me, it comes across as maybe a little bit inconsistent. Although now that I look at it, it's kind of consistent with the clothing. Maybe they've went into, maybe, I don't know if they did this on purpose, but maybe with the clothing, they've tried to do the whole pillow, well, not the wizard's clothing, which makes it seem a little inconsistent with the robe. You know what I mean? Like everywhere else, it has like pillow shaded stuff. Like this is sort of pillow shaded. This is pillow shaded. This is kind of pillow shaded. This is kind of pillow shaded. This isn't. Really, this isn't, and this isn't either. It kind of is, but not really. So it looks a little bit inconsistent. It's why I'm picking it up. But if you want to make it look more form-like, don't be afraid to just leave things in shadow, you know? Leaving things in shadow is completely fine as well. You can get a lot of form just by leaving little touches of shadow in there, or even having a little bit of bounce light or something around the bottom. It depends on the material of the object as well. Like maybe this would be... It's always just thinking about the form. Pillow shading doesn't think about the form. It just creates it's just about, it's kind of like frontal light, but frontal light would also show the form. You know what I'm saying? But again, I kind of agree with what Madge is saying as well. Madge is saying as well, it is also a stylistic choice, and if it's consistent throughout, then why not? What up, Talaba? How are you doing today? We're just giving some feedback, obviously, Feedback Friday. Let's check out the Steam page. These are nice. We've got some more portraits here. These are cool. Yeah, I think you got a nice style. I think you got a nice style overall. What is that? Sandor, thank you. Let's check out the Steam page. I love checking out Steam pages. So, Arcane Revolt. Arcane Revolt is an action role-playing game with pixel graphics. Lead a revolution as a powerful mage against tyrants in a fantasy medieval world. Customize your spells and make decisions that will benefit your cause in battle. Improve your spells, start a rebellion, and bring down the order. This is a nice description. It's an action role-playing game with pixel graphics. Immediately it tells me what it is. Do I like action role-playing games? Sure. Do I like pixel graphics? Sure. Let us watch on. You know what I'm saying? Check out the screenshots. Okay. Interesting. This is a stronger image. I think this is a stronger image than this one. I would personally start with this one. Just because it's difficult to really tell what's going on here. You know? What up, Alfonso? Thanks a lot for you. Video is very helpful. I get an issue with how I can solve the size of my tune. If I open. Got an issue about how can I solve the size of my tune. How to do. I know what you mean, Alfonso. Maybe join the Discord community and share some screenshots with your problem in the questions. We have a Discord where people in the community can help you out. So if you post your problem in the Discord, in the questions section, people will be able to answer that and hopefully you can get it fixed. But I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm not sure really what this game is. I know obviously action RPG. This is nice. Saruman. I guess you're like fighting against things. That's the action side of things. Is that the same screenshot? I'd be careful about like repeating screenshots or like things which look too similar. Like this area looks different. The style is interesting. I'm good. I got a promotion yesterday. Let's go, Talaba. Hype in the chat for Talaba. Principal gameplay designer. Now people like, get to the principal's office. I know what you mean. It's a different type of principal. But you know what I mean. Hype in the chat, Talaba. That's really cool. Let's go. Principal gameplay designer. What a legend. Talaba moving on up in the world. You still haven't sent us a trailer. Still haven't sent us a trailer to look at or any games. Oh, you did send us some older games. I do appreciate that. Cool. That's really cool. Great news, Talab. I'm so happy to hear that. Let's go. People moving on up in the world. Moving on up. Did you get a nice pay rise as well? Or you get to just you get to be like, oh, you're on the big bucks now. It's not at your own company where you're a solo dev. No, that would be funny. Just got promoted to CEO. No, Talaba works at a studio. Yeah, it's an interesting looking game. Best I can do is the trailer for Assassin's Creed Nexus VR, but that work was 2 years ago. Too old, sorry. But I will check it out still. That would be cool. Yeah, it's a cool looking game, Arcane Revolt. The gameplay, it's not very clear exactly what the gameplay is like. from the screenshots. In the pixel art, you have like, you have mixels going on, and mixels not always a bad thing, but the quality differences between some sprites and some assets are very different. Like your portraits are highly detailed, these little icons are not as detailed. It is kind of consistent in that sense. Your characters here aren't as detailed, which is okay, they don't have to be. Yeah, it's an interesting style. It's an interesting style. Not necessarily good, not necessarily bad, not necessarily wrong, not necessarily right. It is unique in its own way. I personally haven't seen anything like this. I'd like to see a gameplay trailer. I think that's what I need to see. I think it needs a gameplay trailer here. Gameplay trailer. Right, let's check out what was it? Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. VR! Let's go. Is unreal. Oh my goodness. Trailer. Oh, is this the thing that released recently and you said you did some work on it? Beta Quest. A Ubisoft original. Oh, let's go. Oh, I've got vertigo already. I feel sick.
This is the Brotherhood.
Couldn't do it. Couldn't play it.
Abstergo are working
Not actual gameplay, liars.
Profile people and align them to Templar beliefs.
Actual gameplay, there we go. Now this looks cool. You did the interactions in the mixed reality scenes, including the puzzle bits. Let's go. Talaba worked on this? Yes. They aren't in the trailer. Mixed reality. Check out the review.
Just remember, I'll be monitoring you. I don't want any more surprises.
Even way
Come
back
on.
in 2000.
Show us the mixed reality. This. See it.
Of playing
This
double
bit?
agent between the series'
Let's go.
most powerful factions, Abstergo and the Brotherhood of Assassins, as you're contracted by
This is
Pogo
cool.
to enter the Animus and search for
Very
weapons
nice.
that would help Abstergo build yet another.
You can link it? Okay. Let me permit you. I'm sure links are supposed to be working just for any sub, so should be able to do it. Let's check this out. The heck kind of link is this? Hold on. Give me. I don't know why that popped up in like a strange screen. Weird. It's popping up. It's like doing a weird pop-up thing. There we go. Oh, here we go.
We are kicking it off in mixed reality. Okay.
Oh, okay. Interacts. You did all this? Let's go. You mean mixed reality is in someone's world?
Oh, great. I'm in a Zoom meeting. Okay, let's join the call.
Join the call.
I get to choose my voice.
Dragging and dropping.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Nice UI. Nice UX. Nice UX, Talaba.
Exactly like me. Confirm.
Nice nice UX.
Thanks for taking our call. I'm Sean.
It's like an hour long.
Rebecca.
Hi.
Character on the right, character on the left, balanced. Balanced.
Brotherhood contacts for this op.
What's the job?
I like it.
Oh boy. So
Very cool. You can skip the dialogue bit. I did.
And we're leaving.
And then they go into here.
Ah,
Okay.
hacker.
Did you do this bit as well? So it's your actual room? That's cool, man. Is that difficult to do?
Than aware.
You didn't do that bit, you did this bit.
Off the bat. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. That looks sick. I can imagine that looking cool when you've got the headset on.
Boss? Excited
Can you
about
see
this.
people as well? Is this dude's actual room? What the heck?
Whoa, hello.
Dude's got like sound things all over the place.
What have we here?
I don't know.
Analyzing pattern. Ah, spelling mistake. Sorry, Talaba. Spelling mistake. Just imagine. That's sick. Well, congrats. Congrats. That's really cool. Type in the chat for Talaba and for the promotion. Yeah, let us continue. Where are we up to now? What time are we on? 127. We'll do a couple more. Pogo Precision. That's the puzzle bit. Got you. Which studio is that? Overall, I think it's a Ubisoft game, but most likely Ubisoft outsourced some parts to your studio, right? That's what you probably did. You don't work at Ubisoft, right? Here we go. A small section of a cool little Pogo game I'm working on. Pretty difficult, so good luck. Let's have a go. Game is in active... Oh, Unity. Everyone vomit. Just kidding. But not really. Check it out. Made with Unity. Doesn't matter what engine you use. If it's a fun game, it's a fun game. Nice cutscenes. That's the very what's it called? Super Meat Boy type opening. A and D or left and right to rotate. Okay, I can just roll. You can't see my head here. Press and hold space or C to charge a jump. Okay. Forward flip. Already nailed the forward flip. Backward flip. Already nailed it. Already nailed it. Can I just go this way? Oh, look. I think I've broken it. Let's just go like this. I can just jump off the air. I love that. Love it. Cool. It feels really good. You can rotate to face a wall in order to bounce off it. Got you. Okay. Feels great. Feels really, really nice. Oh, you got like a little Jump King camera. I can't see the platform there. That's kind of problematic. The bouncing feels a little strange, but it's okay. You can hold left, shift, or X and press a direction to throw your pogo stick. You can hold left shift and press a direction. Okay, weird. What is going on? I think I broke the game. I've broken the game. I've soft locked. I've soft locked. You're a bit of outsourcing. Nice. That's cool. That's cool that your studio picked that up. I've broken the game. That's a soft lock. That's a soft lock. Okay. Try again. Try again. Broke the game and destroyed their dreams, yeah. Whoa! The bouncing is kind of mad, like... I think the bouncing is a little bit... mad. Maybe could use a little bit of help. I don't know if the bouncing is like... The bouncing feels a little broken, like the pogo stick feels great, but the bouncing feels a little broken. Like... I don't know if I should be bouncing that much. Especially not since we've seen me break it. Oops. What's the smallest jump I can do? Is that like a lot? Seems like the threshold doesn't have that much of a lower threshold. Like the lower threshold, it doesn't take that much to get to the higher threshold, you know what I mean? Just bounce off this wall. Can we? Can't see the platforms here. Again. You can hold left shift and or X, press it down. I'm not going to do that again. Oh, I skimmed past the wall. Hitboxes. Oh, I did it again. I'm glad I managed to save myself there. Okay. I think I watched Vim play this. You can hold left shift and or X. Press a direction through your pogo stick and get a large boost forward. I don't understand. Okay, so like bounces your character. But like, how do I get the stick now? Oh, Vimlock does the same thing. That's cool. There's a Sega game that reminds me of this one very much. A huge kid with a huge head, Japanese environment. You can press R to restart. Okay, nice. That's good. Oh my goodness. Can I go back to that? Oh my goodness, it put me to the bottom. Okay. Feels a little bit broken, but that's okay. You can restart your screen. That's nice. If it was like restarting from the start, then I'd be a bit more annoyed. I don't really know what to do here. Oh my goodness. I don't really know what to do here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, can I just bounce off this? Hold left shift and or X. Press a direction to throw your pogo stick and get a large boost forward. Okay, so you can like catch it. Couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you what I'm supposed to do there. What? I think I'm supposed to like bounce off here or something. Like, jump up here, do that. I give up. I rage quit. I rage quit this area. Maybe I'm supposed to go left? I don't know. Okay, okay. I kind of had it. Can I just jump on there? Okay. Maybe I could just land on this and then you go that way. Okay, I kind of get it. I kind of get it. I kind of don't. This is really hard for a very early room, I think. And this, I would have rage quit by now. And I am rage quit at this point. I would have rage quit by now and I am going to rage quit. I think it needs, let's have a look. So people are like, from the screenshots, what's going on here? Dude jumps along and then does the, okay, so it's like catching yourself in midair kind of thing. I get it, but like, you need to, I think that needs to be easier to demonstrate almost. You know, it needs to be demonstrated more easily. Because I get it, like you can do that. Just because I've seen the video of it. Maybe there should be a little demonstration video of what you're supposed to do there. You know what I mean? Since I messed it up. What up, Luca? How are you doing today? Come on. Come on. Ah! I hate moving platforms. Moving platforms are the worst thing in any video game. Any platforming game which has a moving platform where you have to wait for it to get into position. It makes me feel sick, man. There we go. When does it move? When does it change? Okay. Oh no. Right, I give up. 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 I gotta give up. I gotta give up. Overall, it's a very cool idea. It's a very cool idea. Precision platforming doesn't make me happy with a rage game. I don't mind precision platforming. I think... Because obviously I'm making faceplant. Lantusky, thank you so much for the sub. I think for me it's the... That mechanic. The mechanic is introduced maybe a little bit too early on. Like, I'm still getting used to the pogoing. There's still a lot more that could be explored with the pogoing. And I think the skill level required to be able to hit that is quite difficult when you first start playing it, especially if you can't see it. Like, I didn't check that little GIF out when I first started playing it, so I didn't know what it even was supposed to do, like what the point of it was. So I think you literally just need, I think it would be better if it was just like very, very basic like this, where you have, because you saw, I didn't even know you could restart a level. If you just did literally something like this, where, and this seems super basic, but you start here, you have to get across to there, right? A to B, there's your goal. And the only way that you can do it is by doing that pogo trick, you know? And it should show that, and this should be death. This is death. You restart here. The stakes are super low. You learn it, easy peasy. But the problem with the introductory room that you gave it in, like you had this introductory room, which was like, you already had a platform thing here, and like I was confused as to whether you would like have to go this way and then you jump there, and do you use it to like bounce off a wall and then come back? Like this bit was really confusing over here. This bit, I didn't know if you had to push it up to there, and I kind of forgot that I was supposed to just do normal pogoing, or that I could do normal pogoing, because you give me this new thing to try out, yet you haven't given me this new thing to try out in a proper arena. You know? Is it live? It is live. What up, Tax Rex? You haven't given me the proper stage to try out this new mechanic. So I rage quit the game at this point, and then I checked the GIF, and I was like, okay, I'll try it again. So... yeah, why everyone hating on the moving platforms? I hate moving platforms. I think if I have to wait, that's my biggest problem with games, where I have to wait for something. I don't like waiting for something, because with a platforming game, you can sprint through it, run through it, and you're going at your own pace, right? You're going at your own pace, Then all of a sudden, developers like, let's put in some moving platforms. And now you can no longer go at your own pace. You have to go at the predefined moving platform pace. And I hate that. It's like those levels in Super Mario. They're like track levels. You know the Super Mario levels where you're standing on that block thing, and the block's like following a set path, and you like have to... I hate those levels so much. I like it myself. Different strokes for different folks, you know? You survived the Black Friday massacre. Actually, my hours got cut. Even though it was super busy, my hours got cut because it was... my hours got cut because it was... they didn't have enough orders or something like that. But that's okay by me, because it was super busy. So I did survive. I think I got let off lightly, actually. How are you doing, Lupo? What's going on today? Conveyor levels? Yeah, basically. I don't really like conveyor levels. That's real life. Stuff just moves by itself and you have to keep up. I'm playing a video game, though. I do not... when I'm playing a video game, I do not give a single fuck about real life stuff. I want only fun. You know? I want only fun. Depends on preference. That's exactly right. That's exactly the word. Preference. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people like underwater levels, some people don't. Some people like Hollow Knight, some people don't. You know? Preference. Not every game is going to be for everyone, which is why if every game was for everyone, it just would, you know, we wouldn't have to worry. Either you go Celeste or you go Mario. Or both. There are things I like about both, and there are things I dislike about both. Because waiting for a platform doesn't count as gameplay. I just find it boring. You know, I find waiting for things boring. Because I just want to go. I just want to go. Some people like Hollow Knight and some people are wrong. I don't like Hollow Knight. I like the visual style, but I thought it was quite boring. Mario does not have enough cowbells. Very true. There's a bit of gameplay in there, arguably, but the gripes are fair. There's pacing, what Talabo was talking about a long time ago, and makes me cringe to this day. There's pacing with it, and there is like a style to it, but every single time I come across waiting in a game, there's this game called... what's it called? There's this game called... and again, this is just personal preference. This is just my opinion. You don't have to agree with this. That's completely fine. You like your own types of games. I like my own types of games. That's completely fine. I'm completely fine with that. There's a game called Wall Kickers, and Wall Kickers is amazing, right? It's this amazing mobile game. And there's this one platform style where you go on it, right? And it's the fucking worst platform design I've ever seen in my life, because I absolutely hate it. But it's like a switch platform. You go on this side and your character's here, then after like 5 seconds or 3 seconds or something, I don't know how long it is, but it feels like an eternity, it then flips the side. So then your character's on this side. And sometimes you'll jump on it just as it turns the side. You need to be there. So you have to wait, and then you're on this side. Then you have to wait, and it's so frustrating, man. I hate things like that. I hate things on rails. I hate waiting. I find it incredibly boring. I don't like it. But that's okay, because you don't have to agree. What kind of mechanic is this? What, wall kickers? You just jump. You just jump vertically. It's a very, very good game. Let me see if I can find a thingy, actually. World record run to 100. But you just jump and you can like backflip jump and stuff. It's a mobile game. It's very, very good. Let's see if they've got any of the reverse ones. So it's like Kickbot. I've never seen that, but potentially. So those are those ones. You can skip some of them, but there are some situations where you just can't skip them. This person is speedrunning as well. Which engine do you recommend for game development? For anything crazy 3D, go Unreal. If you want to do anything else, go either Godot or Game Maker. I recommend Godot because it's open source and will always be free. I also recommend Game Maker now because they changed their pricing model and I think it sounds very fair and it's been used in a lot of very, very high quality indie games. So you know that it's possible to make things. But if you're going to do super high 3D quality, then go Unreal probably. Even though I think learning curve's probably a bit high, but I guess it depends on the type of game that you're making. Kickbot, I'll check it out. Kickbot, Steam. Check it out. I got it right here. Kickbot 2-button platformer. You can't walk. Only wall jump. That's a cool idea. Wall kickers. Coming soon. It's not out yet. They sadly got deleted. Yeah, I seen that. The characters. Yeah, it's wall kickers. Basically wall kickers. So this game came out after wall kickers. Maybe they got inspired by it. Looks cool. There's a demo. Got you. Yeah, it's wall kickers. That's what it reminds me of. Play wall kickers. Very good. Use scratch. Yeah, use scratch. Wall jumping is always cool. It is cool. That's why I didn't do it in my game. Next up, Island. Looks like Celeste, someone said. Every platformer that comes out nowadays looks like Celeste. Because Celeste is the biggest platformer. It's the biggest inspiration for literally every platformer that we see in this generation, it seems. What up, Matt, by the way? How you doing? Earthbound used waiting in an amazing, funny way. Of course, that's an RPG, not a platformer. Yeah, different styles of games, right? But it depends on your preference. Celeste or Hollow Knight. I see this all the time with like indie game characters and like mascots and stuff. Indie game characters, you can tell when someone is inspired by Hollow Knight or Celeste because they always have the cloak. Cloak is such a fucking Hollow Knight fan thing. They always have cloaks for some reason. They always have cloaks, or they have like certain big head, small body. That's a common thing anyway, just because of at the small sizes. It's the most personality you get is in the head. I mean, Faceplant has that as well, just because it's easy to do. But you actually see straight rips of the Celeste character sprite. Like, you see that quite a lot. You see the Celeste character sprite, like genuinely, they just take the sprite and they recolor it and maybe add a different unique feature like hair or something and they call it their own character. I hate that. I really hate that. How to draw characters like in PC 98 games. They use dithering a lot and look very professional. I couldn't figure out how to do it. PC 98 games. I don't know. Give me a reference. What kind of game? What game is it? I mean, you're looking at that. I think at that level of art, like this. At that level of art, you're basically just looking at, I mean, there's a booty here. Let's look at the booty. At this level of art, you're looking at drawing skills. You're looking at anatomy. You know, you're looking at butts. You're looking at the size of the pixel art is basically just digital art. You know, it's basically digital art with a lot of dithering. They obviously still use limited colors, but if you to take a digital art image and just scale it down, you'd probably get something which looked quite close to this, and then they've just limited the colors. You know what I mean? So a strong usage of a strong knowledge of anatomy, a strong knowledge of color theory, like everything, a strong drawing. You know, this is boom, 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 strong color. would be crazy if someone did that with plant face. Yeah. Well, I have it. I have the trademark on the character as well, so you get wrecked. Maybe because you don't need to draw like 90% of the body. Yeah. No, that's good. I don't mind that at all. Faceplant looks like Celeste, very Celeste, and the fact that you go up, oh my god, it's got platforms too. It's so Celeste. It's so Celeste. It's unbelievable. Right, what was I going to do? The game had such an impact. Hyperlight Drifter, let me have a look. I forget if they have a cloak. Hyperlight Drifter. But it's a potato head. They have a cloak. Yeah, they have a cloak. They did have a cloak, yeah. But it's kind of a different cloak. The kind of cloak, it's a different kind of cloak. Journey. I think Journey was one of the biggest ones, wasn't it? Journey was a big one for cloaks. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, it is this. This is cloak. Indie game cloak characters. It's because you don't have to draw the arms. Journey did something similar. I'm not gonna. What the heck? Chill out, bro. Okay. Yeah, cloaks, no arms. You have 100%. Yeah, no, I agree. I do agree. I do agree. I have seen a million games that look like that. I agree. You know how to make Undertale art? Yes. Don't do any shading. Do basic cartoon style and emphasize cool features. And each character has limited color palette. There you go. That's how you do Undertale. Undertale is great. Great art style. Look. Very simple. Very simple. You ready? How to do Undertale art style. Every character has strong silhouette with basic shapes and they have their own simple but limited color palette. There you go. Do that. Should I add a cloak to my character designs? Please don't. From now on, any game with cloaked characters, I will not play. Think of something else. Give them a hat or something. Do you have an Undertale palette? I don't, but I'm pretty sure there is one online. But, I mean, the Undertale palette, like I just said, just pick like 3 or 4 colors per character. There you go. You can make your own palette. Quite simply, I think. How do you come up with a good character design? Very simple. Character designs. Okay? I've spoken about character designs before. I think good character designs... Okay, how can I explain this? How can you come up with a good character design? So, I first think the character has to have... Uncloaked, yeah. I like no bullshit soul. Never take the bullshit. Jacksepticeye eyes, jump scare, I know. But I don't feel like I've seen Journey replicated in that sense. No, correct. I agree also. But yes, you have seen. I have seen a million top-down Hyperlight Drifter. But I think I've seen more platformer / Metroidvania cloaked characters. I could be wrong. I don't know though. There's no palette for Undertale, but you can just sample the colors. Yeah, just steal it. The palette for Undertale is Undertale. You know what I mean? Just take the colors from Undertale. But make your own. It'd probably be better if you made your own. Okay, how to make good character. Probably have an idea. You know, probably have an idea for the character because that's going to influence your design, right? So when I was going with Faceplant, I knew that I wanted the character to be cute. It's important for the story. I know they're a young plant, and I know the most important feature is going to be the face. And I did look at a lot of references to reference. Looked at a lot of references for different types of plants. I looked at references for different types of plant pots. I looked at references for just a lot of stuff to do with my idea. And then I started to iterate. And iteration is your biggest step, which is why I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate it when someone takes a base character design. Any indie game. This goes for any indie game dev, artist, or anything. I hate it when someone takes an existing design, silhouette, everything, and then just plops their own skin on top of that, which we were just talking about. A lot of Celeste, you know, a lot of Celeste. You see this a lot. A lot of indie game people or artists or whatever will take an existing design and then just plop their own skin on top and call it their own character. The reason I hate that is because they're not thinking of idea or ref, or they're completely disregarding the whole referencing and iteration stage, and they're just doing one iteration based on their own idea. And that is infuriating. It's infuriating because do you know the most amount of work I think for character design comes from this? Comes from this in the initial iterations. And idea. Comes from an idea, reference, and initial iterations. You know what I mean? That's where it comes from. Same for gameplay mechanics. I mean, I can't talk. I basically just stole Jump King and then made a different movement. So I can't talk about that. That's fine. But for character design, it is something I see quite a lot, which is infuriating. Because you could be able to come up with a much more unique character. And it's probably the same for gameplay mechanics as well. I guess I'm raging about this. And I'm kind of choosing my battles because it is the same for gameplay. I guess it just depends on what they want to do. So I can't actually rage too much on them, because if that's what you want to do, fair enough. That works for you, whatever. That's the style you're going for. But I think it's like Brandon's video. Brandon made a video about Brandon James Gray made a video about drawing on top of Mega Man sprites to learn pixel art. I completely agree with that. You can learn pixel art, and you can learn how to use pixel art by drawing on top of other sprites, and you can learn the sizes, and that's a really good exercise for learning. But I think the problem with that is a lot of people, especially beginners, will go, this is my character now. This is mine now. And I don't think so. And the reason I say that is because this exact thing happened with Lumber. I don't know if any of you were present during this, but if you know who Lumber is, Lumber's the little character that I made for the pixel art tutorials, and I designed that character, you know, and I went through the process of iterating on it and getting the perfect shapes and going through that process of trying to find the perfect shapes. Lumber's a very simple character. Do you know how difficult it is to create simple pixel art characters? It is incredibly difficult because the pixels have to be in the exact place. You know what I mean? And people go, oh yeah, but it's so simple. It's so easy to steal. It's so easy that someone could just make that. I actually think it's less likely. I think because the pixels are so specific in small pixel art, I think it's less likely that somebody creates the exact same version of that, because you have to be so specific with every single pixel. And that's why it's very, very obvious when someone takes a pixel art character and they take it and they go, they're angry and they have a mustache. This is my character now. You know what I mean? You see that all of the time. And I've seen that exactly. I've seen that exactly with Lumber, because there was a person, I think they were just a young artist or something, but they let's see if I can find it. They took the Lumber design and they recolored it. Took the Lumber design, recolored it, and they started making games with it and selling asset packs. They were selling asset packs. You know what I mean? Like, how crazy do you want to get? Like, let me take a look at this, for example. This was the process of designing the wizard from the Lumber. And this is the process that I'd go through. I'd start with a silhouette that I think that looks good, and I'd break it down into the actual pixel sizes, and I'd go, okay, what do I want to do? I kind of like this one, but I want to make the beard a little bit bigger. Let's try the hat a little bit smaller. Let's try the nose a little bit sharper. I like the sharp hood, but I don't like the shape of that too much, so let me try adding a little bit of curve in the hood, but I still don't like the nose on that. Let's make the beard a little bit bigger. The gray's kind of cool, but I prefer the white. Let's try different colors, though. Maybe the red's kind of cool, the purple's kind of nice, the green's different cool, and this is the one that I finally ended up at. And that takes hours. That takes hours of work. It isn't just draw the pixel, there you go, there's the character. It's a thought process, an iteration from idea, reference, all the way to final design, where every single pixel is thought of meticulously. That's why pixel art, simple pixel art, is not actually simple to create. It actually can be quite difficult. And then someone comes along and adds some fucking skins on it and sells it as an NFT. This is mine now. Like, that's don't steal character designs. Make your own, dude. Make your own. I reached out to these people, by the way, who did this, and apparently their artist. It was their artist who had just seen the design and added on top of it. And they removed all the designs. They were actually very friendly about it eventually. And they removed all of the designs. So, yes. They removed all of the designs eventually. And they're very cool. And they redesigned the whole thing. And that's fine. But yeah, man. Design your own damn characters. Use your own reference. But that's my whole point with that. I thought that was pretty good. Maybe I'll make a show out of that. Is it a good idea to create Blender models and pixelate them? Yeah, why not? I've seen that's a very valid process. Are you okay? So I'm fine. No one is safe on the internet. Someone will steal it. Yeah. Got this message on Instagram this week. Hi, can I use your art style for my game? That is a nice wizards. Thank you, Toak. Don't steal them, please. That was like a villain origin story. Yeah. It is mine now, but in red. Toak! Toak! I will ban you. I will send the lawyer squad. And I get it. I don't mind when people are inspired, right? I've been inspired by art styles. I've been inspired by... look at the fucking... I'm inspired by wizards. If you look at Gandalf, right? If you look at my wizard and you look at Gandalf, basically it's just Gandalf. Not legally, though. And also, if you look at... What's that other wizard called from Merlin? Wizard. Look. Blue wizard. Long... There's a lot of inspiration that you're taking from other places. But that doesn't just mean copy pasta. You know what I mean? It doesn't just mean copy pasta. Copy pasta this. It means getting inspired. In fact, I read something recently about AI and people saying that, oh, AI is just reference. I read a study about how computers use images for AI and how humans actually perceive and use memory. And we don't actually understand a huge amount about how humans perceive it, but it's completely different. I'll have to find the article because I feel like I'm talking a lot of shit here. I'd like to back that up. How to create good hand and guns model for Doom weapon sprites. Reference. It's like a villain origin story, yeah. I had a piece of art stolen and used for one of these what is your X name memes and raised my watermark and it ended up all over the place. And it was so frustrating. It is frustrating because it's just a waste of time. Just a waste of your own time. Thanks for the follow, Basalmeg Vinegar. What's up? I love vinegar, actually. But anyway, Mega Man seems to be ultra overused for pixel art character designs. Yeah. Yeah. It's actually a pet peeve of mine. Because I don't like the way the Mega Man sprite looks anyway. So when I see like people drawing on top of it, when I see people drawing on top of it and changing like its fundamental design, I don't like the way that looks personally. Your stream is very informative. It's just me ranting bull, you know what I mean? What was your first name? Unless you don't say this publicly. Liam. Liam is my first name. But anyway, let's give some feedback because we've only got 5 minutes left. Let's give some feedback. Factory Island. I think this looks great. This is some isometric art. Great name, thank you. Thank you. Chose it myself. Didn't really. I was given it. Liam Tunes. That's right. Now let's see Paul Allen's name. Who's Paul Allen? Thanks, Liam. Cool name. It's L-I, not Liam. That's cool though. Liam. That's this. Ding ding. I put K. That Liam. My first channel name for drawing was called Liam Draws, by the way. That was my first art name. And eventually it changed over time to Soul Tunes. Why is it Soul then? Surname. It's so good. So good, baby, baby. Dream draws. This is cool. This is some nice isometric pixel art. What is really impressive about this, and this is really hard, right? Isometric pixel art is really, really hard, firstly. But having shapes on shapes on shapes on textures on shapes of different styles, that's really difficult. I think that's really, really I know, because when I created the wizard piece, that was really difficult. And that's why this is so impressive and it looks cool. I don't have any feedback other than this looks cool. And I'd like to know more about it. Is there a story? One thing about environments is I'd like to know a little story. What is this place? What's it used for? You know, and that can help push your designs a little bit further. If that's your goal. If not, there you go. Should have referenced your name. I know, you should have referenced. Reference is key. Reference is key. Okay, next up. Let's check it out. Another isometric. Getting a lot of isometrics today. I'm looking for tips for isometric style. Hey, look, there's me. Looks great. Here's some tips for isometric style. Made a whole video on it. Wasn't Brandon James Gray's latest video isometric? I don't know. I haven't seen one of Brandon's videos in a while, actually, because I don't really watch too much YouTube these days. Seems to be, yeah. Remaking a Pokemon bedroom as isometric pixel art. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, Brandon's got a lot of pixel art videos. Brandon is the pixel art beast on YouTube. The pixel beast. I love Brandon's style, actually. Brandon's a very cool artist. And also a very nice person. I've spoken to Brandon a couple of times, and every time I've spoken to Brandon, just always been a pleasure. You know, always supportive. Sometimes you don't find that, actually. People don't tell you about this. People don't tell you about this when you do anything online based. How many of you folks look up to other artists on platforms? Or maybe you're inspired by other artists on platform. Because when I have been inspired by other artists on platforms, not just YouTube, but others as well, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. And you're like, oh my God, they're so cool. Wouldn't it be cool if we could speak to them one day and like share interests and talk about those kinds of things? And when I spoke to Brandon, and I'd seen Brandon's videos after doing my pixel art stuff, I was introduced to Brandon through doing pixel art YouTube stuff. And Brandon has always been super nice, like super nice, super supportive, super helpful. We chat, and it's always been really nice. But be careful. Not everyone is nice, actually. Not everyone is nice. Don't always meet your heroes. Don't meet your heroes, because not everyone's nice. Some people view you in the same space as them as competition, and they might not be nice to you, you know. So don't always look at the people who are your big faces in social medias and go, oh, I bet they're a nice person because they make nice videos. Some of them are not very nice. I'm not going to name and shame people. I've met Liam in real life. I am actually pretty rude in real life. 6'3". I'm built like The Rock. People look at me like, is that The Rock? And I'm like, no. Meeting your hero is the best and worst mistake you can make. It will teach you a lot, but you'll be heartbroken. I think the best advice that I could give for anyone is don't put anyone. Doesn't matter who it is. Don't put anyone on any sort of pedestal, especially not social media influencers. Don't put anyone on any sort of pedestal. Don't think of someone just because someone has a. Here's one thing that happened, and a lot of you who are regulars in the community or OGs, including me, including me. One thing that happened in my like in the Soul Tunes growth, right? I for years have made videos on YouTube for 8+ years, and for about 6 of those years, maybe like 100 people watched those videos. Maybe get like 100 views, okay? And those of you who've been in the Discord for a long time will know that I regularly hang out in the Discord. I regularly chat to people in the Discord, and I have done that since the Discord was created, and I've done that for years because that's a community, you know, that's the community that I like. And one thing happened when the pixel art videos started to blow up. Loads of people started flooding into the Discord, right? And I'd just be chatting away in general chat, as always, talking to other people who are like-minded, who like the same things that I like, which is why I hang out there, because people in real life don't like the same things that I like. You know what I mean? And I'd hang out there and people would be like, oh my God, Soul Tunes. Oh my God, it's Soul Tunes. Oh my God, Soul Tunes is chatting. This is crazy. And it's like, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Some numbers have gone up. Some more people are aware of the videos that I've created, but nothing has really changed. You know, I don't feel any different as a person. In fact, I feel a bit more confident, definitely, because I realized that chasing that kind of thing, it's not going to make you happier. And I thought for a while, like chasing that kind of thing would make me happy, but it doesn't. You just beat the Pogo games. Are you too good at video games? That doesn't count. All of us, including our heroes, are awkward nerds. We're just people, man. People make mistakes. People do good things. People do bad things. That goes for literally everyone. People have skeletons, everything like that. Yep, that exactly. Glad I realized that early in my life. Yeah, 100%. 100%, Talaba. Work hard and put yourself on the pedestal you want to be. I like that talk. Oh my God. That's a really good, do that for yourself. Make yourself who you want to be. I have this saying actually that I think about all the time. I think about this. Whenever I try to make a decision, there's only one person I put on a pedestal now. There's only one. Are you ready? It's Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. It's Aragorn from Lord of the Rings. And whenever I think of a situation, I think, Wawad. I think, what would Aragorn do? You know? King of Gondor. What would King of Gondor do in that situation? The rightful King of Gondor. Aragorn's a nice guy, right? Aragorn's where I think I was like the rightful king, you know, makes good decisions, helps people, is confident in their own skills and abilities. What would Aragorn do? Love it. This needs to be the next short. Yeah, confident, helpful, you know, patient with people, righteous, has beautiful hair. Yeah, exactly. Can swing a sword around. What else do you need? What would Aragorn do? I don't think killing some orcs will fix my saving system's problem on my game. I tried. Yeah, but what would Aragorn do about your saving system? Do you know what Aragorn would do about your saving system? Aragorn, or whatever you say, Aragorn, son of Arathorn, would be patient with themselves. They'd be patient with themselves, and they'd find a solution to the problem. Like when they were going up the big mountain and it was covered in snow, what did Aragorn do? And they had to find a route. They had to find a route through this snow. What could we do? How could we possibly get back down this mountain? We failed. The mountain is taking us down. What would Aragorn do? Aragorn walked through the deep snow to create a path for the hobbits. That's what Aragon did. So you, in these saving system problems of your game, you will be patient, you'll be righteous, and you will create that save system path for the hobbits. You want to apply this to everything in life? That's what I do. What would Aragon do? That's how you can put Aragon on a pedestal. Don't mention hair, please. He made yellow snow. Yeah, he made yellow snow. He just melted it all. Hi, I just came by the stream. Thanks for all the feedback you gave on my piece earlier. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Chiptune Kirby. But I'm going to call it. Oh my god, it's Soultune. He's 6'3" and is jacked. Only 6'3" with shoes on. 6'2.5", maybe 6'1.5", maybe 5'3". Aragon would also run away from his problems for many years. That's the old Aragon. We don't think about that one, Dom. We only think about the one now who recognizes that that was a problem. Because guess what? Aragon also makes mistakes and can learn from them and can recognize. That's what Aragon would do. I wish Aragon was my dad. Says the yeast beast. It's the fact that he got over those flaws that makes him so admirable. I mean, come on. Do you have an alternative to Ace Bright? Yes. Pixel Studio. What platform are you on? There is Pixel, Pyxel or something like that. There's Pixel. There's so many pixel art things. I actually check out the Ultimate Pixel Art tutorial video I made. It's got a bunch of them in the start, but there's so many at this point. There's actually millions. Pixel Edit is good, yeah. Juho Sprite says Pixel Edit. Windows Paint, yes. Libre Sprite. That's probably the best one you're looking for because it's basically, it is a Sprite but free. It just doesn't have a couple of features, but that's okay. Libre Sprite. Check that one out. There you go. Use that one. I'll pop that in the Twitch chat. Easy win for you. But folks, I got to end it there because that's what Aragon would do. Aragon would end it there. I appreciate you all hanging out today. You all have shared amazing artwork and listened to me ramble for far too long. Next time, we will be checking out this very nice running animation. That's where we'll start. This person has shared their game again. Delete that post. Come on, folks. Don't double post. Damn you, Aragon. Peace, my man. Have a good weekend. You too, Lupo. I'm at work tomorrow. Another busy day, I think, but it's only a 4-hour shift, so that's nice for me. Thank you all for having a great one. Have a good one. You too, you old monk. Tuag, Talaba, big hype again for that promotion. Let's go. What are you going to do to celebrate, Talaba? Come on, let us know. Let us know. Let us know. Come on. Come on. You're going to get some nice food. You're going to cook some nice food. You're going to have some wine. Do you even drink? Do you still? If not, you have no plans right now. Oh my goodness. Put together a little party or something. That's hype. Thanks, my friend. Take care and have a good night. You too, Marge. Appreciate you hanging out, as always. I always submit in my game, but I don't know when it's going to be played. You submit your game, Zai? No shit. I'll play it anytime, Zai. Zai's been playtesting Faceplant, my dudes. Where is it, Zai? You lied. You lied. Did you put it in feedback? Oh, we're not that far off the top. We're not that far off. Raid NPC. How to start learning Krita. Download Krita. Check out a tutorial on YouTube. Just start going. Just start drawing. You'll figure it out as you go. You're not going to get it instantly. No, you're not going to get it instantly. But you're going to get there. You're going to get there. There's Practical NPC being rated on Twitch, folks. If you're over on Twitch, go and check out NPC Making Memory. Very cool game. I'm going to bounce immediately, so say hi to NPC for me, because I'm going to bounce. I'm going to eat. In fact, I'll probably just say hi myself. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. I'll catch you all next time. Have a great one. You put it in the feedback tag. Link me. Link me, Zai. Drop me a message. Drop me a message. Goodbye, everybody. That's my head. Goodbye. Have a great night. See you all next week on Friday for Feedback Friday. If you're on the Twitch, I'll see you on Monday. See you on Monday for the regular streams, probably Faceplant related. So see you then. Peace out, everybody. Goodbye.